Hello, I'm Adam, hailing from partsFUNknown, and welcome to the second episode of No Rolls Barred, our brand new wrestling RPG series. Welcome back. Hope you liked the first one. This next one is going to be even better. So, just a reminder before we kick off that this game is based on an existing system designed by Nathan D. Powerletter. So if you like this game but fancy the full experience, head over to his website, link in the description below. If you do need a refresher course on the rules, please do check out the beginning of episode 1. Without further ado, here we go into episode 2. This one is going to get a little weird.
Hello and welcome to City British Wrestling. My name's Tom, I'm head of creative here at CBW, and these are our players.
I'm Laurie, I play Tony the Milkman, who is a veteran character.
I'm Ollie, I play Golden Joe. Joe.
I'll only do it when the thing starts.
He's a golden boy.
I'm his brother, Silver Bro. I play the gatekeeper.
My name's Lolo, I play the Dominatrix, and I am the anti-hero.
And it's me, your friendly neighbourhood Kid Flips, the high flyer, and I'm Adam also.
Right.
You absolutely yoded that, didn't you?
Let's do a fight. We find ourselves this week in Chester Coliseum. The entire arena is dressed up with Doric columns, the trappings of ancient Greco-Roman culture. In the upper levels, the sponsors and corporate supporters of City British Wrestling are ready to enjoy the bread and circuses management has in store for them today. Welcome everyone to City British Wrestling, and welcome to Sunday Night Lightning. CB-dub. Prepare yourselves as these ring wranglers clash inside and outside the ropes in the name of villainy, valor, and victory. Now let's waste no more time and welcome to the ring, hailing from Puddington, Yorkshire, Kid Flips!
So, spotlight. You see nothing to start, and then suddenly a huge burst of doves out from the floor. Ollie's Kid Flips. He skates around the top of the ramp. He grabs the S, the K, the A, the T, and the E, and he flies down to the ring, and he's grinding as he goes, his cap perfectly backwards, his shirt, the dye is so tied, and he flips into the ring. He runs up to the turnbuckle, gets on the ropes, and kind of just like enjoys the adulation of the crowd.
Hey!
Okay, thanks guys, that's cool, don't worry about it. But then he looks out at the crowd, sees his mum, she's always there. Hiya mum! And then he looks around at the ringside, and you see a look of resignation and disappointment briefly flicker over his face. But then, straight back to business. Let's do this! Cowabunga.
Making his way to the ring, hailing from partsFUNknown, your City British champion, Apex!
Boo!
The lights dim on the audience again. That same grey-green glow starts to emanate from the top of the ramp, and out steps 7-foot-tall, muscle-carved Apex, slung over his shoulder, the dead body of a grizzly bear he carries down with him. Lifting it off his shoulder, he slams it against the top of the ramp, looks at one of his own huge, muscular hands, and drives it deep into the bear's chest, pulling out its heart. Strength! He opens his mouth wide and puts the heart whole inside his jaw, bites down on it. Blood oozes from his lips, down his chin, and onto his muscular chest. He swallows, spits out the gristle onto the floor, stamps one heavy foot down on the ground, bellows, matches eyes with Kid Flips, and starts stomping without pause into the ring.
Brilliant. Oh, you're going down. Good luck, mate.
Have a lovely time.
Any tips from your last match, mentor?
No.
Ding, ding, ding! The following match is scheduled for 1 fall.
1 fall!
Ding, ding, ding! Immediately, this huge hand reaches out, grabs you by the throat, and lifts you off the ground again. Little boy, do not step into my ring.
I try and kind of pry his fingers open. I make eye contact with the ref, look over the ref's left shoulder and go, "Hey up, check it!" to try and distract him.
So roll on power first. You're trying to
Minus 2.
Let's the pry open the fingers. Yeah.
That is 6. So no.
You get halfway through the word check before the air just leaves your throat.
Christ. Okay, fair enough. I will make the... Okay, I'm going to make the secret gesture, or like secret facial gesture at my mum, which is a secret signal, and she reaches into her purse and picks out a jar of like hand cream and throws it at the back of the referee's head.
Okay, so your mum will have to make this roll.
Okay.
So that's going to be 2d6.
Right.
And then, let's see, how old's your mum?
My mum's 50... How old are you?
55.
She's about 57.
Okay. And how much professional wrestling or shot put experience does she have?
She's a lifelong CBW fan, so she's thrown a few jars of hand cream at a time at the heel.
So we won't give her a negative modifier then.
Okay, rolling on mums. Come on, mum. Come on, mum.
Come on, man.
Mum! That's a hard success. Mum.
This, what's the brand of hand cream?
Come on. Which is the most aerodynamic? What's the heaviest?
Silky bastard hand cream.
It clunk just bonks him on the back of the head, enough to make him move his head and notice at least.
I kick Apex square in the bollocks.
That's power. You need a hard success for this.
It's a heel move. You went against your morals.
Look, he's killing me.
So before you go for this kick, there is one thing you know for certain: that Apex doesn't wear a cup. However, when your foot connects with his groin, it feels like he must, and something in your ankle almost shatters.
Oh,
and
He's
again,
got a steel rod.
Is he aroused by this?
this man is clearly just 100% muscle, lean, solid, all like bone and just
It's
dead
the
he's got
sinews.
bollock muscles. Jesus.
Yes,
Okay.
even his genitals are swole.
Should get that checked.
He then choke slams you, boom, down onto the mat.
Okay.
Picks you up again by the throat. Boom, down again. Picks you up one more time. Boom, back onto the mat. Roll on power.
Christ.
that's low.
1.
He picks you up one final time. Puts a hand over the top of the other one. Moves the other one down to maybe about your waist. You're a kid, more or less. He's got big hands. It's pretty much big enough to grab you around the waist one-handed, and he turns you upside down, so your head is directly above the mat. Then lifts you high into the air, and
And you hear in the background this beep, 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 as a giant lorry with a huge truck at the back starts rolling down the ramp in reverse. And you notice it's full of denim. Jeans, jackets, boots, hats, everything. Just a massive go of denim. And you see at the top of the truck, she is just standing there. Stilettos, full denim whip that is made out of denim and zip, so you know it's gonna hurt.
Oh,
And
Christ.
it's a whip crack, and the whole thing spills out and fills the ramp and fills the entire ring with denim. Just so much denim that it just swamps Apex and Kitty McFlyface. And stops the match entirely. She slides down the side of the track and jumps into the ring and picks up the microphone. I didn't need to narrate that bit, but here we are. This will keep happening over and over and over again until I get rehired. You have to know that I am a lean gene fighter.
Yes!
And it's about time that you submit to total domination.
Yay!
I demand my job back And not only do I demand it back, I want a shot at the title.
Dead him, dead him, dead him, dead him, dead him.
At this point, just before your head was about to hit the mat, a soft and protective wave of denim washes underneath, and you impact softly and gently into this pile of jeans, and then are dropped to take a few moments to relax, to get your breath back, to recover on some very comfortable material, hard wearing and comfortable. Apex is trying to keep his balance in this sea of denim, trying to right himself on his feet, trying to find you somewhere amongst this pile, like finding a kid in a ball pit in a jungle gym. He's trying to track down where you are. As soon as you finish making your claim and the audience stop cheering their hearts out.
Oh, QC.
Once again, standing at the top of the ramp in his powdered wig and barrister's silks is an even more displeased and disdainful looking QC. He makes his way once again down the ramp, once again disapproving at everything he sees, and steps his long legs over the top rope into the ring to stand opposite you. Well, Denim Matrix. You've made quite a mess here once again in the middle of a very important squash match in front of some very important sponsors. Honestly, do you really think that this is going to make the slightest bit of difference?
I do. I think it's important, but also, where do you get your wigs from? Because I feel we need to swap them.
The day I wear anything the likes of you wear is the day I hang up my robes for good.
Maybe that's about time, old man.
Oh, no, have you know I'm in the prime of life for a barrister.
But I can't stand you. This whole system is all about you. This whole thing has been run by people like you. So old and boring, you need to be gone.
I'll have you know I am old and interesting. And I don't run this system. I just make sure that the people who do get what they need.
Well, I need another shot.
Why? Why do you deserve a shot at the City British Championship? Why you? What makes you think the good British public and the people of the world want to see you as City British Champion?
Because I scare you. And it's about time.
He looks over where Apex is still trawling through the jeans. grabbing jeans and tearing them apart, and then looking just really frustrated. It's denim and it's not a child. Very well. I will offer you a deal.
Alright.
You can rejoin the roster at City British Wrestling, and you will get your chance at a championship match. However, you will get that chance like everybody else by entering the legal wrangle next week. However, in order to even qualify to step between these ropes as a legal wrestler again, you will have to wrestle a match today. Do you agree to these terms?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Oh, not yet. He bops you in the head with his little gavel.
Oh,
Very well.
Crack him on the bum with my whip.
Ooh!
He's into it.
He is.
Roll on look.
We'll have you roll and look for this.
Oh, he's not into it.
He's not into it.
You can see he's toying with the idea for a split second, but then puts it out of his mind and then move straight up her back and stiff upper lip.
Go on.
Very well. He makes his way back the ramp, the sound of chamber music. And we cut now to somewhere else entirely. We cut now to Golden Joe and Silver Bro. Golden Joe is leading Silver Bro down a pine-panelled corridor past some potted plants, some chairs, some water fountains, and what seems to be some kind of office building.
Golden Joe's in full outfit, as usual. Doesn't take it off, sleeps in that. And I'm talking to Silver Bro, just because, last week when we had our match, I thought you, there's a little bit in the way you looked and just behaved that it felt like you were jealous of me.
What?
I want to nip that in the bud.
Jealous?
Because you're my bro.
Yeah.
You are my Silver Bro.
And you're my Golden Joe. I would never be jealous of you. As I said last week, I'm a couple of years older than you. You're the future of this company. But I'm not jealous of that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here to have some family therapy.
If that what makes you happy, then yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
I think it's going to be best for us. It's going to be best for us.
And for this family.
And for our family.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
At this point, you have made your way to your destination. You stand outside the door to the office of one Dr. Head Schrunkner, family specialist. You open the door, and sitting in a very comfortable chair behind a nice mahogany desk with a chaise longue and a couple of more straight-back chairs sitting in the room is a small man in a two-piece tweed suit. He's mostly bald except for little wisps of white hair around the back of his crown. He has a little neat goatee. He's smoking a pipe with his little half-moon glasses on. Ah, so, the Metal Brothers. Please, do, take a seat.
I'll be your chair first.
Thank you, I've already sat down. I'm on the chaise longue and I'm just, sitting.
I'll take a seat next to it.
It's on the chaise longue.
Okay.
The T-Rex.
So, which one of you is Mr. Joe?
Now we meet Joe, Golden Joe, please.
Joe, please tell me, why did you suggest that you and your brother meet me here today to discuss the family?
I love my brother more than anything. He's helped me out through thick and thin, through metals. And I want to I feel like there's some tension between us.
Attention. I first I've ever heard of that. I mean, I don't even know what that word means. We're brothers, man. I love you. We're gonna win the tag titles together. I'm glad that we're here because it's what you want, and we're gonna work it out, right?
You see what I'm dealing with?
Joe, what is it you think that you are dealing with?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but just armchair psychology, not to jump in for you. But that was a lot of just pent up, oh, you're better than me.
But you are better than me.
Yeah. And in the match last week, he just, he got a few moments where it seemed like he was trying to do my stuff.
And what do you feel your stuff is?
All the front facing stuff, the crowd stuff. Getting the reactions, but you know the jackhammer thing you do, Golden Joe,
the silver spoon,
rock solid,
yeah.
You just held him up there for ages, man.
It's for you to run the ropes,
yeah. But they were watching you, weren't they?
No, they're watching you. They're chanting Joe when you hit the ropes. They're into you. I'm just posing to show I've got some pretty good strength behind me. But it's all about it's you finishing the match though.
Arrogance. That bit there.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not arrogance. It's dual arrogance, though, right?
I love my brother so much, and I want us to win the tag titles. But I'm just concerned that if this attitude carries on, something might go awry. I'm just being honest because I love you.
I mean, it's never failed us before. The Rock Solid has always finished a match. I don't think it's ever not going to finish a match.
It's rock solid.
It's rock solid, exactly. Yeah. So. I don't see where the problem lies in that because that move always wins.
Bro, what do you feel your role in this relationship, both as professional wrestlers and as brothers, is? Where does bro fit in?
It's a very simple question. And it's clear as day. I'm the older brother. I've got him into this business. He's going to be a champion someday, and I'm going to help him get there. All the while, singing his praises.
That's all I wanted to hear, man.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I love you, bro.
So, it seems that we have resolved everything in a matter of minutes.
You're a really good doctor.
Sometimes I just need to hear it. You know, just get a little bit crazy sometimes.
Well,
I know. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, let me ask maybe just one more question. Let's try a little bit of what is known as radical candor. Bro, I need you to be very honest with me and very honest with Joe. But that is why we are here. Or that's why are we here?
That's why we're here.
Please.
Was that a question? Sorry. Sorry, go on.
Tell me, bro, nobody is perfect.
Apart from Joe, obviously.
Nobody is perfect. There must be something about Joe that troubles you. And now is the time, and here is the place for you to share it. It is a safe space.
But it's an impossible question. Like, it's... I mean, the punches obviously work. You know, the moves work less. So maybe we should just focus on the punches and the kicks and the old shoulder blocks and stuff. Like, that just seems to be a sensible way for our tag team to work.
I could give it a go.
Yeah.
Give it a Joe.
That is it.
I think that's
all
it.
the fault you can find.
Yeah.
It would not be fair if I did not ask the same question to you, Joe, as a person and as a brother. Where do you feel bro should change?
You could be honest as well. Just be honest.
Change.
Yeah, just be honest about it.
Change.
It's alright, just open up.
Well, you've got the whole supporting me thing down. I love you for that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Well, you know what? We're not the singles champions yet. I mean, the tag team champions yet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just be a tag team champion with me.
Well, that's great, because that's what we're going to do. We're the number one contenders. We're going to win those tag titles.
Title tag.
Gentlemen, I feel there is something beneath the surface that you two are just not willing to share in this forum, and I understand. I understand it is difficult, and sometimes there are things about ourselves that we do not know on a conscious level. So, I am going to recommend you to a friend of mine, another specialist who has a very different approach to accents and to psychiatry. Whereas I work to heal the mind, you boys need to go and speak to someone who will heal your soul.
Oh, Zol.
Zol, I
Your
think.
soul, your soul.
Zol.
Is that another medal?
Yeah, it must be, yeah.
Zol.
Zol.
Like an element.
Like Zola. Gianfranco Zola.
We're going to jump backstage to a familiar location with a slightly different setup. The same locker room where we saw the Milkman bloodied and beaten and broken. We now see a thankfully still alive and still healthy Kid Flips sitting on his own, recovering from his very throttle and denim heavy match earlier today. And in steps the Milkman through the door.
Lad, are you okay, lad?
Oh, hey up. It's you, is it? I haven't seen you in a week. Alright? No, look at me. Where were you last week? You know, strike that. Kick that to the curb, as they say now. Where were you this morning? Where were you when I was getting my... I was almost killed in that match. I was almost choked out.
I know.
You said you would be there for me.
I know, lad. It's out of my hands.
What's out of your hands?
The future, everything.
What do you mean?
Management, they called me in last week. They said my next match will be my retirement match. If I lose, I have to leave the company. They said I'm not good enough anymore. I'm too old. I'm too slow. I'm too slightly fat. I'm not that fat. I'm good. But they said I'm not drawing the crowds anymore like I used to. And they said I'm gonna be out.
Tony, maybe they're right. Look at you. You're still not ready to compete. I assume you're wrestling tonight, right?
I am, lad.
Yeah, I thought
I'll be
you would
wrestling every night until they kick me out the door, until they send the men and they drag me out.
Or until you... You're not in a good way. Do you think maybe it's management's way of telling you that if you don't hang it up, you'll end up doing yourself in?
I've still got it, lad. I could beat anyone on this roster. I could beat them all around the ring until the cows come home. And when the cows come home, I'll fucking milk them. Because that's what real men do.
Oh, aye. Is that what real men do? Do they leave? Is that what real men do? Do they have a son that they never raise? Do they walk away from a chance to be with their family for the sake of their own pride?
There were other stops on the round, lad. There were other stops.
Oh, aye. But she was your favourite stop, wasn't she?
She was the biggest tipper.
Look me in the eyes right now and tell me you're not my father.
I can't. I'll just walk off.
Okay, let's everyone take a moment.
Full on soap opera this episode.
Let's do a fight.
CBW. Let's do a cry.
Feelings.
The brothers. Yeah, the two of you are out in the deserts of Chester. No buildings, no plant life, no water, nothing but the endless and famous sand wastes of Chester, England. The only landmark for miles is the landmark you two are walking to right now. A small tent in the middle of nowhere. You've been told that the person who will help you heal your souls resides within this tent. As you get there and move back the canvas, there is a small old man sitting with his legs crossed, smoking a pipe, a proper, polished, fancy-looking mahogany pipe, puffing away. He has a big handlebar moustache on his face, but otherwise he's completely clean-shaven, his head on his chin. Ah, the brothers.
Are you the doctor that's going to save our souls?
Is it like our souls?
I see my colleague has sent you. I recognize that accent anywhere. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Thank you so much.
He hands you both a small stone bowl.
Thank you.
Inside is just a... Ooh. Inside is just a pile of foliage mush. Consume the contents of these bowls, and you will be able to face your demons.
Do what it says, bro.
Of course, Joe.
After you.
Wow. Mulchy.
Weird tasting.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you make a work roll. Sleight of hand.
-1.
Yeah, you're fucking right.
Eat it, bitch!
Joe, come on, man. We need to work through. Just do what the man says.
Fucking wrestlers. Now, before the effects of this powerful hallucinogenic sink in.
It was a 1
Well,
hour.
what now?
I thought we're arseholes.
Yeah.
Make your way outside of the tent, across to opposite ends of this sand waste, where you will find a dip in the earth where your inner demons will meet you.
How long's that going to take?
I think are we gonna
3 minutes tops.
I guess.
Are we booked for tonight?
Match.
Oh, you will be wrestling a match
I don't know about
against your very souls.
Oh, crap.
Okay.
Compared to me, a husk.
Going on
I've
a
got you,
spirit
man. I've
wrestle.
got you. I've got you. We're gonna ride this out together, man. This is just like that time I was partying with the Milkman a few years back. It's all right. We'll get through it. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right, man. It's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna hold my hand. Hold my hand. Hold my hand.
Going the other way.
Hold my hand.
It's like a tag.
Hold my hand.
It's like a
Hold my
tag.
hand. Hold my
I don't
hand.
want to tag.
Hold my hand.
I don't want to
Hold
tag.
my hand.
So that
Hold
way.
my hand.
I'm
Hold
going.
my hand.
I'm going.
Hold my hand.
I'm going.
Hold my
I'm going
hand.
the 3
Hold my
minutes that
hand.
way.
Hold my hand. Is he still there? Hold my hand.
He's gone.
Hold my. Oh, okay. It looks like he's still there. I'm going. I'll leave as well.
So you've been instructed to go to the opposite end of this tent.
I'll turn around and go the other way then.
So, we'll start with you, bro. After 3 minutes tops of walking, barefoot inexplicably, you don't remember taking your shoes off, through the sand, you find yourself in this little, maybe 10 foot by 10 foot divot, a kind of natural arena that's formed amidst the powdered glass. And there, as you wait, and your vision starts to blur, and your mind starts to get hazy, and some kind of strange drone starts to hum through your ears, you see the sand in front of you start to take shape with shadow and form the figure of a featureless, faceless, expressionless humanoid man.
Hello? Are you my demon?
At the same time, Joe, a similar experience passes through your body as you find yourself in this little natural arena. That same sense of haze and drone and blurred vision, and the sand and the shadows rise in front of you to form the shape of a tall, broad-shouldered, featureless and faceless figure. You both look up into the now inexplicably night sky, and you see the moon, and connected to the moon is a metal curve of a little bell that goes dong dong dong.
This isn't like that time with the Milkman.
The following contest is scheduled for one soul.
One soul!
Bro, what are you doing?
I'm gonna sit down. I need to have a sit down. I need to have a sit down, man.
As you go to sit down, the shadow... You're literally just sitting down on the ground.
I'm gonna write this out by sitting down.
Joe, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna keep punching this big object.
Go for power.
But it's like a dream, they're not connecting. 5.
Yeah, your fists like just seem to whiff past this shadowy, sandy figure. You can't tell if they're not connecting or if this thing just doesn't seem to be made of any kind of corporeal form.
I go round for my new submission move that I've been trying to work out. If I was to break off as a single star, it's called the full golden, and it's just a full Nelson.
I will let you roll on your heat with run your heat with bro for that, because it's all about it's all about singles.
That's 11.
Yeah, you slide in, your full Nelson just connects. You have a good firm grip on this figure. What are you doing next?
I'm gonna try and submit him. I'm gonna submit you, bro. Apparition. I'm gonna submit you, bro. Apparition.
Okay, we'll leave you there trying to submit the bro apparition. You're sat down on the ground. Mm-hmm. After a small amount of time passing, this figure starts to walk towards you. It reaches out its arms towards your face.
I was just trying to swap my way.
Starts to sway and move, and then the shape shifts behind you, shifts around you, and starts to grapple its arms around your body. You feel this genuine physical pain and pressure on your neck and your upper back. What are you doing?
I'm going to power out of it. I'm just going to just sort of Hulk my way out of it. And that is not good.
That's not what
that is a 5.
You try, but physical strength doesn't seem to help you here in the face of something so unphysical, and the pain in your neck and your back deepens. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and put my arms up into the air and slink out of it.
Okay, you can go on. Hey, work for that. Why not?
The toddler defense, as it's known.
It's slightly better. It's 5.
That's still not enough. You can't slide out of something which seems to be almost coalescing with your very form at this point, and you're still stuck fast. We're going to jump back to Joe. You're still trying to put the submission down. So you're going to go in for the full golden.
Full golden's still locked in. We're both down, stuck in.
So you're just continuously applying pressure on that.
Yeah.
So we're going to move to Pal for that now.
0. It's a 6.
I'm so sorry.
You can re-roll it.
That's true. You have both your face re-rolls and your
He also gives
you
a
can
re-roll,
you can
doesn't
use mine. You can use my re-roll. You can use my re-roll.
Can I re-roll?
Yeah, sure.
7.
Okay, you tighten the full golden. You feel this sandy, shadowy form start to solidify and harden. It feels more like muscle and bone and flesh now, and you squeeze and you squeeze and you squeeze, and it passes out. Meanwhile, across the desert, you try so hard to power to technique your way out of this hole, but it's too much. The pain in your neck and your back gets greater and greater and greater. You feel your vision start to darken. You feel the blood pumping in your brain and in your chest, and you are out.
Oh, bro.
He died.
And as you collapse, figure gets to its feet and stands over you. For a brief moment, the shadows of its form broaden and heighten until it seems to take the form of a large, broad-shouldered, square-headed man. And then the shadows dissipate away, and behind, unknown to your unconscious brain, is Joe. You get up.
Crap, I killed him!
You get up from delivering the full golden and just see this pile of shadows on the ground. For a brief moment, those shadows reshape into the form of something tall and broad with a square jaw and a square head. And as they dissipate, you find yourself looking down at the unconscious body of Silver Bro.
Oh no. Oh bro. Oh, I don't know why. It seems like you took that trip thing really badly. I wasn't involved in this. I was wrestling sand. I'm gonna call an Uber. Call an Uber.
Sure, make a...
It's the mid-90s.
I've invented Uber.
Make a straight 2d6 roll to see if you can call a cab. Okay, a taxi is on its way to you, but it's going to take a while.
I've got some water somewhere in my pocket. I'm just offering the water now.
Bro, can you make a power roll for me?
Yeah, power roll. That would be 11.
You come to after your ideal, and what do you see? But the face of your beloved brother here.
You saved me! You saved me! The sand tried to kill me.
Tried to get me too, man.
But you fought it off.
Yeah, and yours.
Because of course you did. Because of course you did. Oh, Joe. I don't know what drugs they try to put us on, but I'm glad you were strong enough to work through it and save us both.
Yeah. Let's not go into the desert anymore.
Yeah. Desert's dumb.
Desert's stupid.
So stupid. Let's go back to the, I don't know,
Wrestling
home?
ring.
Yeah.
That's not stupid.
It's technically home, yeah.
Okay, and we will draw a curtain on your time in the desert. And as we do, the sand and the shadows, very briefly once again, just wisp through this form of a tall, square-headed man, and then dissipate into the night. Okay, we are back in the ring, back in Chester Coliseum. The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, hailing from Puddington, Yorkshire, the Milkman.
Milk! 2 wooden cows are pushed onto the stage. I burst through the curtain, dripping milk everywhere from 2 open pints that I'm holding. I tip both of the cows as I go. 2 Bavarian milkmaids come out from behind, flanking me with their sort of pails. They kneel down. There are fully working udders on the wooden cows. As my music sort of builds to a minor crescendo, it's a bit twee. Milk begins to arch and jet, falling out over. Sort of like there's so much milk, it's just everywhere, and it kind of obscures me in the camera shot. And then there's this moment where I burst through the milky film, breathing it out of my nostrils like Goldberg, and I rush down to the ring, ready for my match.
Amazing. Do you want to grab the mic?
Mm-hmm. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to see the comeback of the century. Tony the Milkman is here and he's not fucking about. Management have told me that the next match I lose means I have to leave CBW. No! Do we want that, Chester? No! CBW is my heart and my soul, and I will fight with everything I've got to protect it, for I am smoother than milk, I am sharper than silk, and I've had it with them backstage and their ilk. Yeah! Rhyming couplets, you bastards. Get that down, you.
Amazing. Making his way to the stage, hailing from the Yorkshire Dales, Stretch Farmstrong. There's a noise of some old big engine starting up and careening its way. Just swerving its way out to the top of the ramp is a big red tractor with big dirty mud-covered wheels on the back, small dirty mud-covered wheels on the front, one of those sort of metal steam spouts like pumping out gas and engine oil, and sitting on top of it, a big, not overly ripped but clearly very muscular, large fella in denim overalls, a straw hat, chewing a piece of wheat, just chugging along his tractor, riding it down the ramp, down to the ring. He gets out, waves at the audience, waves at you, makes his way very patiently up the steps into the ring, nods at one of his farm hands to jump in the tractor and drive it away. Gets a little piglet out of his pocket for good luck, gives a little rub, kisses on the head, puts it back down, lets it sort of scurry around the ring a bit, and then it just makes its way down the steps and follows the tractor. All right then, time for a fight.
What a colourful world.
So we're going to start this match with Stretch in control. Actually, no, we're going to start this match with you in control, I think. That seems a little more exciting. Ding, 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 ding.
I come right in and I'm going straight for the test of strength. The old school British wrestling style test of strength. Put my hands up and see if he responds.
These two, farmhand strong, leathery workman's hands, boom, connect with yours, and you start pushing against each other. Roll on power.
Go on, Tony.
Come on, Tony.
That is a 7.
Hey, Tony. He pushes. You start to feel your feet dig into the mat. You start to feel your muscles warm up and tighten. It looks like he's starting to get traction on you, but then with a surge of power, you push him back a couple of steps, and he's just very slowly being forced back towards the ropes by your strength. What are you doing?
Gonna go for the push down, so he drops to his knees.
That's another power roll.
Oh, Tony.
Just keep doing it.
Oh, Tony.
No, that's not going well. 5.
Oh, Tony.
Whoa! Tony gets too into the British wrestling stuff.
So you start to lean forward and push down. His knee starts to bend as he goes towards the mat, like, "Whoa, time to turn up the beat!" And he straightens his body, pushes your hands backwards, pushes you back so you start to stumble, and then goes for a heavy palm straight into your chest to knock you back and starts walking towards you. What are you doing?
I am going to, sort of stumbling backwards, I'm just going to power forwards with a big...
Always leaning on power, Tony.
Tony doesn't know. Tony loves power. That is a 6.
Oh, sorry, Tony. Time to do some grievous bodily form. Starts to lay into your stomach with boom, 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 big, stiff, thick farmhand punches. What are you doing?
I'm going to try and catch one and turn it into a wrist lock.
Work.
Yes, Tony is a 9.
Yeah, so as one of them goes, you grab him by the wrist, you manage to twist him round. You now have control over him. What are you doing?
I'm going to force him to the mat using the pressure on the wrist lock. So ratcheting it up behind him, trying to force him right down.
Let's say we can go for work on that. Yeah, that's technical enough.
It is a 7.
Boom. Yeah, he drops down to the mat onto his knee. Ooh, I'm a bit confused about this one.
Oh, goodness. For that, I'm going to stomp on his arm now.
Power.
Oh, no.
Actually, no, real. That's real. That's real damage.
I'm so happy right now.
I mean, my real and my power are both terrible. That's a 3.
Okay, so he's been like groaning and grunting and like clearly wincing at this pain. You really like managed to dominate him for the last couple of spots at least. But then as soon as you switch from technique to power again, your body just gives in, and he bursts up with a sort of flourish of strength and knocks you back. Oh, I feel like I'm born again.
Yes!
And then he goes in for one of his famous submission moves. He goes behind you, wraps his hand around your neck and goes in for the sleeper hold. Ooh, looks like you'll be counting sheep soon.
Or I'm going to go for... I'm going to force it down so we actually drop backwards and attempt to roll through and roll out. So into a pin.
Yeah, we can see and go for work on this.
Come on, Tony.
Come on, Tony.
Come on, Tony.
Yeah,
it's Tony.
That's a 9.
Yeah, so just as you start to feel, because it's really fucking quick a sleeper holder, just as you start to feel yourself blacking out, you pull out this magnificent piece of technical trickery, and boom, he's onto the mat, you're on top again.
Cool. I'm going to bring him up, and I'm going to hook through both of his arms and do a big suplex from that, which I call the double udder hook.
Okay, suplex. Ooh, suplex, it feels like a power move to me.
It's not good, is it? Tony's not good at rolling on power. It's a 5. I might do a re-roll. I think... Can I argue that it's something to preserve wrestling tradition, as it is a classical suplex. It is the perfect suplex.
Okay, and as you're attempting to execute the perfect suplex, yes.
That's a 9.
Yeah, you groan and struggle and lift and you execute for a man. How old are you?
55.
Oh, okay. You execute possibly the most beautiful suplex anyone's seen in the ring in a very long time, and crash Stretch Armstrong down onto the mat.
Fabulous. I tried to stifle a little. It comes out. It took a lot out of me to do that. I am feeling the sort of energy of the crowd. I'm going to hop up on the turnbuckle and try and hype people up for my finish.
Okay, that'll be a look roll. You're trying to hype people up?
Yep. That's 7.
Yes,
Tony! So into it, the Bavarian milkmaids hand me up 2 pints. I inadvisably down them both in the middle of the match. I'm feeling it probably too much, so I'm going to go for a move that I used to do in my younger days, called the milk float. It is a superfly splash from the top rope.
I'm going to say roll on look for that because it's flashy.
It's not gone well. It's 6.
Okay, so can you walk us through you climbing the rope and leaping, and I'll take it from there.
Yeah, sure. I hoist myself. There's a point where I think I've got it. I've got up to maybe the second turnbuckle. I'm grabbing the ring post. I'm heaving. Bits of milk are obviously gathering in the corners of my mouth as I go. I get up. I daintily turn around. I stand up. There's a wobble. There's a definite wobble as I get ready for the splash, and then I leap into the air.
Okay, and as you move down towards Stretch, he, with agility surprising for a man his size, slips underneath you, grabs your upper leg so that when you land bang right in the middle of a Boston Crab. Oh! And as he starts to pull the pressure and twist and bend your body, he starts to perform one of his signature moves, the walking Boston Crab known as the furrowed plough. And just starts dragging you across the ring in this walking Boston Crab.
Just trying to get any purchase with my hands on anything on the mat.
I guess now it's time for the sustained and brutal waiting.
That's awful.
I'm going to come down to the ring with a white towel. I'm just going to slowly walk down. I've got the white towel. I haven't done anything with it yet.
Cool.
But I'm just by the ring, just been like, come on, Tony. Come on, Tony.
Put that towel down, lad. I'm going to try to roll myself back under, so out of the Boston Crab, and then grab his legs and try to put the manoeuvre on him.
Roll and work.
Not Tony.
11 from Tony.
You do it beautifully. You slip through again. You seem to be able to channel a much younger Tony from time to time. And here's another one of those moments. All of a sudden, before he even realises it, stretches in a Boston Crab himself, wincing. I've run out of foreign puns.
It's Farmageddon.
I'm going to try it.
Oh, perfect. Let's edit this so it looks like I came up with it on the spot.
Nice.
Ooh, looks like it's Farmageddon for Stretch.
Hey,
that's so clever.
How did you come up with that show? That's so great.
Honestly,
Oh
I
my
thought I'd
God.
run out and just...
Hop into the top of
Yeah,
it.
that's amazing.
Okay, I want
Some
to transition from that Boston Crab into a submission move that I used as a signature for a while, the full churn. Drop one leg, it's a half crab, and I'm just going to start to yank it around.
Okay, you can roll and work against this too.
It is a 9.
Yes!
As you
Tony!
go around and around and around and around, you see this sort of look of bucolic joy that is normally constantly across the happy face of Stretch start to change into worry, and then pain, and then agony, and with every churn his face gets redder and more contorted, and eventually, after maybe a full-on minute of you pushing and pushing and pushing, as you feel your own muscles squeak and pop, you feel something go in your arm, you feel something go in your knee, you feel something go in your back. Blood starts to trickle out of your nose and out the corner of your ear. Milk seems to leak from places where milk should never leak from. Boom, 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 boom. Stretch pounds the mat and submits. Your winner, the Milkman!
Beautiful bastards!
I enter the ring and try and clean up the blood with the white towel.
Don't you ever bring a towel to my ring again.
I roll out the ring and I head to the back.
Is there anything you want to say, or are you done?
I told you at the beginning of this match that I was here to stay. They'd have to drag me out of this ring, because I am Tony the Milkman, and come rain or shine, I always deliver.
Yeah!
And the audience lose their shit. Milkman, 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 Milkman. Okay, the ring clears once more. It clears of performers and blood and milk and more. And we now move to our final match of the night. But I think just before we do, Kid, is there anything significant or interesting? That sounds mean. Anything interesting Kid's doing? Anything significant Kid is doing before we move to this match, having just run off?
He just hears, he's at the top of the ramp and he just hears his mentor say this. And he knows that there's nothing he can do to stop the Milkman. And as the crowd is going wild and as everyone is cheering. He's the only one in the building that's not doing it, and he just does a really sad kickflip, and then he leaves, shaking his head.
Almost slow motion.
Ding ding ding, the following contest is a ladder match for guaranteed entry into the Regal Wrangle. The only way to win is to climb the ladder and retrieve the contract. Now, making her way to the ring, hailing from Whitford, Reading, Denimatrix!
I just backlit. It's just a silhouette of like badassery. I've got really high heel stilettos on, and to the point where it's just ridiculous. And I'm standing there, my hands on my hips, and it's just powerful. Smoke floods and my denim minions are just like crawling around me. I raise my feet to my hands, not like I'm floating, but one at a time. And I snap off my stilettos and I walk down into the ring, and I use the stiletto heels as horns. Somehow just stab them into my skull. Why not? And I use my now really quite sturdy minions that are just my denim mechanical jeans. They've made themselves into a lovely step. And I climb them and just do a lovely somersault into the ring, stand there powerful with slightly bloody horns with my scum.
Bloody hell!
Can I grab the mic?
Oh, I've got the mic! I ran out of so many denim puns. I bet you're all fabricking it. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Just say farm again and again.
I can feel it in my fibres. This is going to be an ultimate match of doom and glory. I don't care who is facing me, but they better be damn scared.
Excellent.
The sound of denim being stitched.
Deafening. That doesn't work.
Making her way to the ring, hailing from ancient Greece, Chester, Socratina!
Oh no.
Serene synthetic music pipes in from the speakers, and a gentle, sweet-smelling, fragrant mist spreads out down the ramp and leaks in from the stands. Stepping out on top of the ramp, a small 5'2" brunette woman playing a tiny golden harp, songbirds circling around her. A look of pure peace and wisdom on her face is Socratina. As she makes her way down and gestures towards the audience, gusts of petals blow out and the blood-crazed, bloodthirsty CBW audience relax and smile and sit down in their seats as if some great and wondrous truth of the universe has been washed over them. She steps around at the steel steps, walks up into the ring, looks around at the audience, looks at you. Smiles, peacefully dips her head. And her breath smells like roses and knowledge and love.
Tina.
Tina. I have a really bad feeling for Tina though.
We'll start with Denimatrix in control. Ding ding ding!
Just run towards her, grab the back of her neck, and try and put her into all fours in front of the ladder and try and use her as the first step.
Amazing. That's clever. Let's Let's go for look on that. That's clever.
Yeah, 7.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get.
Yeah, you easily manage to maneuver her onto all fours. You climb on top of her back. She seems to wince slightly at the pain of your shoes. And you're now sort of trying to reach for the contract from the back of Socratina.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Socratina is 5'2" and currently basically prone. So you gained about maybe 7 inches in height.
But with those stilettos.
I snap them off.
They're in her head.
They're in my scalp. I panicked and I put them there.
Because you now lost, it's a net gain of 0.
Great, cool. But I made it look good. Yeah? Cool. That's fine.
It looked interesting. And it was very clever. I think everyone in the audience who right now are not the salivating dogs that they were before Socratina entered really appreciated your creative, almost intellectual approach to this thing.
There's really clever.
But noticing
yeah,
that
like
they're
a light
really,
little-
but at that point I noticed that they're
Tina
really
would
docile
appreciate
and
that.
it really annoys me and it makes me really unhappy.
bet
So
it
I
does.
bring up all my weight and jump as high as I can to slam back down feet first onto her back.
Roll on power.
Thanks. Oh, power's not my friend.
Tell Tony about it.
Oh, 8.
Thank you, I'm so
Power is your
right.
friend.
8.
Nice,
Power
yeah.
is my friend.
You lift up and you boom straight down on her back.
Fantastic.
How? She says, starting to like writhe around on the floor a bit. She's put her arm back to hold the pad of her back, which you stood on, and you're still in control for now.
Nice one. I'm going to bring my arm around my neck and put her in a sleeper and just see if she passes out because I'd like to watch the life drain from her eyes.
Roll on power for that.
So that's the 8.
That's an 8. Okay, so
It's a murder.
you get your arm rather on a sleeper hold.
Yeah.
You see this sort of serene look on her face slowly fade to become a look of serenity.
It's pissing me off even now.
And she passes out with the softest smile on her face, and right now she is unconscious.
Since she's having a snooze, I'll just go in for a pin. Oh no, it's not a pin, it's a ladder.
You know
well,
what?
I would
It's
just-
canon now, go in for that pin.
Can I?
It won't do anything, but it's
Hook the
canon
leg.
now.
Hook the leg.
No, I don't want to go for the pin. She's snoozing, so I'm just going to make my way up the ladder of doom and glory.
Okay, then make a straight roll on that. Just straight to your
Just
6.
Oh.
The 8.
Nice.
Cool.
So, yeah, you make your way up the ladder, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5 step. You get just to the top, just within an arm's whiff of the contract, and then you feel the ladder start to buckle underneath you,
Sake.
and flumph, drops onto the side. And Socratina is standing there, looking at you with a relaxed look on her face, going, "I think, therefore, I slam."
Oh, I hate how good that is.
And then goes in for an elbow drop on you. Roll on work to try and roll out of the way.
Oh. 7.
6.
Oh, thank you. Being quick for that one. 6.
Okay.
Can you just be my numbers?
I'll be your number.
Thank you.
To be is to be perceived. Now perceive this! And the elbow drop connects, boom, like straight on the top of your chest, just on the bridge of your neck.
Oh.
She gets to her feet. Just starts to get the circulation back into her body after that intense sleeper hold you put in her. She who thinks great thoughts often makes great terrors. And goes in for a second elbow drop.
Fucking psychotic.
I guess for a second elbow drop, roll and work again.
Okay, come on. Come on.
Come on, Denim.
That's a 3.
Boom! Crack.
Denim.
Once again, like connects straight with your collarbone. She gets up once more onto her feet, looks up at the ladder, looks down at you. Liberty consists in doing one's desires, and I desire to kick your butt! And goes in for a leg drop. Roll and work again.
Oh, she said butt. She can't even say ass.
Denim!
Oh.
Stop letting her win.
Again, seems completely unemotionally moved by this. Feels very satisfied that she's got some decent hits in you and starts to make her way towards the ladder. Climbs up 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step, 5, 6, makes her way to the top, is about to reach for the contract when
Oh.
You discover more about a man in an hour of pain than a lifetime of conversation, and goes in for another elbow drop.
Oh, am I rolling on work again?
Denim.
Come on,
Come on, Denim.
That's a 7!
You roll out of the way.
Yeah, roll out of the way.
What are you doing?
Oh gosh, I'm just so bamboozled. I roll out of the way and I clamber straight up onto the turnbuckle, get to the top, and go for a full flying splash.
Go for it. So you can roll on. Look will work for that.
Okay. Can I say full flying splash with the intent to break her spine to get real?
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah!
So,
Talk us through your splash.
so I get to the top and I just, first of all, I rip off my pockets because I just want to show more flesh at that point because I'm so angry. I unzip my arms so that my arms are more free and I just launch myself full. And actually, do you know what I can do? I can do like 360s in that time, like a disc of doom and death. And then someone would call it winning.
Let's let that sit for a while.
Oh,
Okay. And we're powering through.
Top of Socrates puns.
We'll always have them winning.
Yeah, and I land on her and she goes, I would say face first into the mat, so I crack onto her spine, using my full 200 pounds.
There is a shriek of pain from Socratina.
Thank God she's making some noise.
There is an audible crack which is heard throughout the Chester Coliseum, the famous Chester Coliseum.
Super famous.
And she's currently down for the count. You're free to climb the ladder.
I run up that ladder this time. I'm not doing this 1 step, 2 step. Like I am scurrying up that ladder, and I almost launch myself up the last step to try and grab the contract.
Okay, that's going to be a straight 2d6 roll.
Oh, come on, Denim! 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 Denim!
It's a winning!
Sorry, I was so excited. I hit my funny bone.
You sprint up the ladder like a gazelle, leap from maybe the 4 rungs from the top, you just leap into the air, and it looks for a moment like you're just going to be a hair's width away from that contract, and then snap, you grab it in your hand. Your winner! Denimatrix!
You damn won!
Oh, I didn't know I could run out of gender puns, but
Socratina gets to her feet.
can she?
Yeah. Yes, she can.
I'm so sorry.
Wrestling is
Looks up at you, smiles, and says, "Pain is the measure of all things." And almost just seems to dissipate into vapors and petals. Almost.
She just leaves.
I'm gonna hit her.
You are left alone in the ring with a mic. You've got the entrance into the rumble.
Wrangle, please.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh crap! Well, you got your jaw back. Your entrance into the wrangle. Now grab the mork. We're safe now, Adam. Right? We're clear.
Yeah. Right word.
Whew, that was emotional. I'm so proud, and I will see you at yoga next Tuesday, babe. You're a star. We're mates, don't worry. She's still alive. I am so proud, and I've got my job back, and I am. Damn one.
Damn one. Damn one. Damn one. Damn one. Damn one. Damn one.
I'm
T-shirts
just
flying off the shelves.
I am so proud. I am amazed. I am not afraid. I'm going to be going forth into the wrangle.
You got it.
Thanks, mate. Into the wrangle. Zip first.
Flies down.
Zip first flies down.
Zip first flies down. Zip first flies down. Zip first flies down.
And I will win. There is no doubt.
You all know who this is. You all know what he looks like. It's QC, the voice of management, and with several swift strides, he is down that ramp and in the ring.
Oh, Pixie Pie.
Fair is fair. Dominic, you won yourself entrance in the regal wrangle, and thus a chance at winning a championship title match. There's just one small catch I may be neglected to mention. You'll be entering this year's regal wrangle at number 1.
One's hard.
And we leave the stage. However, one last scene before this episode is over. After a particularly grueling, violent, and physically taxing match, a lot of terrible things have happened to the Milkman's body, and we now join the Milkman lying in a hospital bed, being attended to by CBW's 2 resident medical staff, Bitch Doctor and Fight Nurse. Bitch Doctor is a tall blonde woman in a lab coat and glasses with a clipboard and a pen and a stethoscope. Fight Nurse is about maybe 7.5 feet tall, about maybe 4 feet wide, of muscle. He almost looks like he's been stitched together by parts of other wrestlers. He's got a very small white apron with a Red Cross plus in it and a little nurse's hat. He just stands there staring into nothing.
I've only just realised that it's a play on Witch Doctor. I thought you were just being a bastard.
I was worried about Bitch Doctor. Like, does it come across as mean? Will people not get the pun? Apparently, yes and yes.
It took me a while.
Yeah.
She's looking very concerned at her chart and is just about to put her hand on your shoulder and give you some news. When in enters.
I slowly board over to the bed. I place one hand on yours. You're not comfortable with it,
No.
but you're not really physically strong enough to stop me. I say, it's all right. I'm here.
It's nice to meet you. Get off me now.
I look at him and just say, if you're gonna do it, I'll be behind you to the end.
I can't not do it, lad. It's in my blood. My blood's milk. It's in my milk. It's this bag here. It's full of milk.
I can see that. I can see that.
I said no saline. Just give me the milk.
Just.
God's own. God's own juices.
It's okay. Look. There's someone. It feels like we may be on borrowed time, so there's someone I want to reintroduce you to. And I gesture to the front door, and a 57-year-old woman with a handbag walks in, and she says, "Hi, that's him."
I remember this order. I remember this round.
I'm very sorry. It's family only.
These are family.
And I go in for a hug, and I feel bones just give way. Oh, sorry. Psych. And just a single tear of milk drips down my face.
In which case, if you are all family, it's probably just as well you're all here. Fight Nurse, my charts, please. Just hands over a pile of paperwork stained in bits. Milkman. Tony.
Other way around.
Tony. Milkman.
It's much better.
We all appreciate what you've done for the company over the years, and I personally have a huge amount of respect for your drive and determination in the face of the insurmountable odds of human aging. However, according to the results of all the tests I have ordered, one thing is very clear. If you try to wrestle again, you might very well die. That's all for this week's episode of City British Wrestling's Sunday Night Lightning. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. Any of those will do.
Keep them all in.
Thanks, Tom. That's it for this week's episode of No Rolls Barred. Really hope you enjoyed it. Check out the next episode this time next week here on partsFUNknown. In the meantime, if you would like to get even more involved in the CBW universe, check out No Rolls Barred's Patreon. The link is in the description below, and there are all sorts of fantastic ways you can get more from the series. There are behind the scenes footage, there's production podcasts, booking podcasts with myself and Tom, live streams with me, and you can even create your very own CBW wrestlers, which will be put in the show. And if you can't wait until next Sunday, there's even 48-hour early access. So what are you waiting for? Head to our Patreon and check out the rest of the amazing content here on partsFUNknown.